Forza man here. I'm out for a Sunday ride. Beautiful town of Beeford. And I thought, since I finally got all this Bluetooth equipment set up and in, I'm trying it out. This is our first time, so bear with me, and I'm just going to drive around a little bit and talk about stuff for this video just to see how it works out. So I thought, there's a lot of guys online that are buying microphones and then putting a wire and drilling a hole in the side of their GoPro and all this kind of stuff. And I wanted to do something a little bit, I don't know, less redneck. So I went and got the Sena Bluetooth system. And what it is it's a pack that attaches to the GoPro and goes Bluetooth to my wireless headset that I've installed in the helmet. So that's what we're listening to right now, and I'm gonna see how that works. Now what that does is there's no wires going to the GoPro or anything like that. There's less chance of water getting into it and destroying it and that sort of thing. So that's how it's working, and I guess you're listening now to the result. It's a direct connection, so it will bypass the mic in the GoPro and make it so that you don't hear all the wind noise and external noise. Of course, you're not hearing the engine of the motorbike or anything like that either, but hey, what can you do? There's not much engine noise from a Honda motorbike anyway. It's meant to be a quiet bike. It's not meant to be a big, loud pipe bike. That's a whole other topic there. You know, some guys like quiet bikes, and a lot of guys like loud bikes, and they deliberately take their pipes off their bikes, and they take their mufflers off because they want the whole town to know when they're coming through. Well, that's great. I understand their thinking behind it. They think that it's a safety feature. People are going to hear you coming, and of course the biggest problem with safety on a bike is making sure that people can see you. I'm just going to stop and get a few drops of gas here since I'm out and about. But personally, I like a nice, quiet, smooth running bike. So I'm going to put on the center stand. I like to have it nice and level when I get gas, because then I know the tank's filled properly. So we're going to open our fuel compartment here. I don't know if you can see properly with the angle. Alright, so carefully put it in. There's a little aluminum bar that sticks across, aluminum or stainless, not sure. And that's really a guide for how full to fill your tank. Just let it spill a little bit everywhere. That's just lovely. It's the first time I've done that. It just slipped off. I have to get that a good wipe down now. Well, that wasn't very smooth. But fortunately, I do come prepared. Alright, do not fill your tank like that. That's like the first time I've done that. I feel rather foolish. But I do have a rag. I guess it's all this talking on the camera while doing stuff. You're trying to focus on multiple things at once, and although women are very good at it, men are not. And so I just slipped a little bit, and that's all it takes. No, honestly, that's the first time I've done that. Anyway, it should be fine. It was only a little wee bit. It's nice when you can keep it nice and neat. $5.57. 57 cents, so that's probably what just spilled all over the place. This is Canadian dollars, so it's not a lot of gas. Alright, let's get out of here. So anyway, today is a little bit windy out. The weather said wind gusts of up to 50 kilometers an hour. And I'm still getting used to the whole wind gust thing. It's not something I thought about when I first started biking or bought my first bike, was wind. And it turns out wind seems to be one of the major issues when it comes to affecting your ride. More so than cold, more so than rain. I can deal with those things, but wind is certainly something that I have to get used to. Oh, gotta love summertime. But in the summertime comes wind as well. So you have this nice, bright, sunny day. You know, it's saying that it's 19 degrees out, and it doesn't feel it because of that wind. It's so gusty coming off the lake. It feels a lot cooler, but certainly doesn't bother me in all this gear. But with 50 kilometer gusts of wind on a lighter bike like the Forza, this is only a 400 pound bike. It's nothing around town, but once you start getting out on the highway, it's like, holy shit, microwave. Now the other day, I had quite an experience with wind. I was out for a ride down into the valley, and I'm riding along, and then I see this ultra black cloud straight ahead, and I'm going, oh shit, that's a really mean, nasty looking storm cell up ahead. And the winds were picking up, and they were blowing me around on the road, and unfortunately the way I was going, I was heading right for it. So I thought, well, it's just a little rain, you know, we can, you know, my jacket's waterproof, I can go through the rain. So sure enough, I drove into it, started to rain, but it wasn't the rain that was the problem, it was that freaking wind. And all of a sudden I'm getting these crosswinds, and I think they were a lot stronger than 50 clicks. They were, I don't know, I didn't have a measuring gauge or anything, but they were so strong, it literally felt like sorry, I always wave to bikers. Always do the biker wave. It literally felt like it was going to sweep the tires sideways right out from under me. And on top of that, you have the rain and the slippery roads, because the roads were just freshly wet after a week of no rain. And that's, of course, the slipperiest time you could be, other than snow and ice. And so I was worried about traction, and then at the same time these super strong, like, it was like a giant leaf blower just blasting me from the side onto the bike, and I had to slow it right down. I was on the highway and I was slowing down to about 50-60 clicks at times when the winds were really bad, and the rain was, of course, just pelting down. So it was an experience for me. I'm sure a lot of you have had similar experiences. It was my first time in bad weather conditions trying to get home, and I had quite a ways to go. I had about 20 miles of highway to go. So I did make it home, but I didn't get a video of it. It might have made a viral video, I thought, but it also might have destroyed my camera, because the way it's set up with this Bluetooth pack, it doesn't have a waterproof case that fits around it now. Now it has just a separate case that holds it. So that's no good. But that was my first experience. Now, with that said, I start thinking, well, what if I had a heavier bike? And if it was a heavier bike, like, I start looking at the Honda Gold Wings and stuff like that. Now, I would love to have a bike that I can, you know, take the wife on a big road trip. And we've done some. If you look at my last episode, episode 5, I took the wife on a road trip with the Forza. So I want to do more stuff like that. But if you want to do more serious trips, you need a bigger bike. And I was looking at these Gold Wings, and you know, they're a big, beautiful bike, but my God, they're 900 pounds, and they're literally twice as wide as this bike here you're looking at right now. Literally twice as wide. So you have this 900-pound bike. Well, I wonder how the wind is going to affect that. Is there going to be a lot less effect from the wind when you have, 50-plus gusts of wind, or you have 80, 90-kilometer gusts of wind crossing under the bike and blowing it around?